It's both. It's back to business, and these are obviously league games right now, and so there's points on the line. But again, I'm excited to see the new rink. I heard it's just a great rink down there. So they got obviously a great fan base. Sioux Falls is a great town, so it's going to be a fun road trip.
What do you remember about that series against Augustana last year?
Not a lot. The first night we won, second night they won. That's what I remember most. I thought we played very well on Friday, and they played really well on Saturday. And you look at right now, they've got some big wins. They're playing good hockey, and their goaltender stats are outstanding. So it's going to be a great series.
You look at some of the guys that are new to the CCHA this year, the ESAs, right? They got their taste of it in Ferris. They got it at home. How do you feel like they're adjusting to the style of play that this league brings week in and week out?
Well, I think so. I think basically it's just college hockey in general. The speed and the strength is a big difference for these guys coming out of junior hockey, just because they're playing against a lot of 24-year-olds.
What are your just takeaways from a whole against Minnesota State, and what can you take into the next weekend? Oh,
we played really well on Friday, and I couldn't have asked much more from our guys as far as a 60-minute effort. Then on Saturday, we took a few steps back at times. They had a lot of push. They had a lot of jam. They had a lot of desperation in their game. And, the thing that probably I reflect back on Saturday night, we never got into a rhythm. And actually I was talking to Jackson Jetting about this today. Like, we never had a 5-minute segment where we had control over 5 minutes. And that's probably the one thing you gotta win. You gotta win shifts. You need to win back-to-back shifts. You need to win 4 shifts in a row. And we just never got into that rhythm on Saturday.
Do you feel like part of that is it is November, like it's still early in the season, so finding some of those rhythms is still kind of a work in progress?
Oh, I don't know. I don't want to get analytical on, if it's November or if it's February right now. The bottom line is I think the other team has something to say about that, and we just never got to the level that they had on Saturday night. And, but again, I think, they just had a lot of purpose that night. I wish we'd met that head on a little bit, but we were close. But again, they were dialed in that night.
And lastly, Augustana only gets 16 of these CCHA games. I know you're focused on the Beavers. That's kind of what it is week in and week out. But getting a chance to take a game or two from them when they only get so many chances, how important is that? Well,
it is. You're spot on. Our standings this year are going to go, like with them, it's going to be win percentage. So that's big. It's big for all of us right there. So again, league games are league games. Points are points, and you got to remember this year we're 12 home and we're 14 away. So it wasn't like last year where we had 14 home and 12 away.
Yeah, I think it's a little different. I think it's pretty exciting for everybody it's a new experience for everyone. It's not just like when you're a freshman and you're going to a new place. Like, everyone hasn't been here, so it'll be a fun test and first time playing these guys for conference points.
What do you remember from playing Augustana last year?
I remember they were a good team. They were fast. They played us hard. I remember it was a series that I think we split with them, and I think we played pretty good the one night and not so great the other. So I think it's just they've been off to a good start too this year. We've seen they've got some good wins, so it's not going to be an easy weekend for sure.
What can you take from the series against Minnesota State into next weekend, something to build on?
I think probably our defensive play and staying a bit more connected. I think we definitely got to generate a lot more offense though, and play a little bit more in the offensive zone. But there's always stuff. Face-offs for centers. We're a lot better this weekend than previous weekends. So just carrying that momentum for sure.
This is a weird series, right? They only get 16 of these CCHA games, which means there's just a little bit more on the line every time they play. How do you guys take that as an opportunity to really gain some ground on them?
Yeah, I think honestly though, for all of us, it's a short season college hockey. So I think every weekend you get guys have been waiting the whole week, and you don't get too many of these. So it's everyone's ready, everyone's ramped up. But I'm sure those guys would say the same thing. I think they're probably ready to go. We're waiting for us.